Have you ever heard of Daikun Miki? He's a very unique monk from Japan. Recently, he's been gently urging people to prepare for what might be coming, a major earthquake. Miki met the famous comic artist, Ryo Tatsuki. She's known for her dreams that often seem to predict real events. After sharing their powerful dreams with one another, Miki and Ryo found common ground. They both felt a deep responsibility to encourage people to be prepared, just in case something big is coming. Daikun Miki believes, according to the old books, when you see red aurora, this is a sign. He says that every 800 years something big shifts, and now might be one of those times. He's not trying to scare anyone. He clearly said this isn't a threat. I'm not doing this to sell books or get attention. I just truly want people to be safe. If an earthquake does happen, the question is, are we ready? He recommends some very basic steps. Store clean drinking water and essentials. Keep a first aid kit and your medication ready. Know where your nearest evacuation shelter is. Look at your local hazard map. It only takes a few minutes. He adds something very important. Even if nothing happens this month or this year, scientists still say a big earthquake will happen in the future. So please don't wait. Start preparing now. There's also something deeper in his message. The way we think affects how we live. If you believe nothing will ever happen, you might ignore all the signs. But if you believe something could happen, you'll be ready, and that might make all the difference. He even asked people to be more connected with their neighbors. Check if there's someone elderly or vulnerable nearby. If something happens, they might need help. Talk to your family, your friends, your co-workers. Make a simple plan together. So, who's Daikun Miki? I've dug out my old video to review. A peculiar Japanese monk named Daikun Miki has made an apocalyptic prophecy about a great reset of the world, which seems to be coming true. Unlike traditional monks who preach Buddhist teachings, Miki prefers sharing supernatural stories with the public. Drawing from his personal experiences and the strange cases he has encountered, he has compiled 3 books titled Kyoto Strange Tales. Additionally, he has launched a YouTube channel, becoming a popular internet figure. However, Miki insists that telling ghost stories, writing books, and running social media is not a distraction from his monastic duties. Instead, he sees it as a way to spread Buddhist teachings in an engaging and accessible manner. Through these stories, he hopes people will understand the reality of reincarnation and the karmic consequences of good and evil. Sensing the smell of death. Born in 1972, Miki comes from a temple-owning family. In Japan, Buddhist temples operate under a unique system called Homatsuse, where temples are categorized into Honzen main temples and Matsuji subsidiary temples. While monks at Honzen must strictly follow monastic rules, those at Matsuji are allowed to marry and pass down the temple through hereditary succession. As the second son, Miki's older brother inherited the family temple, leaving him free to choose any path. Yet he was naturally drawn to Buddhism and was often told that he possessed spiritual abilities. One of his most remarkable abilities is his capacity to smell death. Miki claims that when someone is gravely ill, he can detect a certain scent from them. As their condition worsens, the smell intensifies. When the scent becomes similar to that of a ripe orange, the person is likely to experience a critical event within 3 days. He once shared a personal encounter in a bookstore where he suddenly smelled this death scent strongly. Looking around, he identified a man behind him as the source. Out of concern, he advised the man to go to a hospital for a checkup. However, the man simply thanked him and declined. Miki persisted in persuading him, but the man eventually whispered, "There's no need. Guess I'm already dead." At that moment, Miki realized he had been speaking with a spirit. Miki also claims he can recognize the smell of COVID-19, describing it as a scent similar to rusted iron. Interestingly, scientific studies have found that illnesses emit unique odors, which is why specially trained dogs can detect diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, malaria, and even COVID-19. Witnessing reincarnation. With his unique background and abilities, Miki pursued Buddhist studies in university. After graduating, since he could not inherit his family temple, he lived as a wandering monk, often struggling to find stability. At one point, he even questioned his path. During this time, a friend invited him to study in India. There, he had an encounter that reaffirmed his commitment to Buddhism. One day, while dining with a friend, an Indian man who spoke Japanese approached him. The man believed that a cow he owned was the reincarnation of a Japanese person and asked Miki to confirm it. Curious, Miki asked why he thought so. The man explained that whenever he spoke Japanese, the cow would react. If he said "Ohayo," good morning, the cow would stare at him. If he said "Konnichiwa," good afternoon, the cow would nod as if greeting him back. Intrigued, Miki visited the man's ranch, where numerous cows were grazing. Unsure which one was supposedly the reincarnated soul, he called out "Ohayo" loudly. To his amazement, one cow responded immediately, running over and nodding repeatedly. Miki then asked in Japanese, "Were you really a Japanese person in your past life?" The cow nodded again, its eyes welling up with tears. Overwhelmed, Miki rushed back to his lodging to fetch a camera, but by the time he returned, the cow had died. He took this as a divine sign. Perhaps the cow had fulfilled its purpose by delivering this lesson on reincarnation before departing. The incident profoundly moved Miki. If a human could be reborn as an animal while retaining past life memories, it was both a revelation and a torment. It reinforced his resolve to break free from the cycle of reincarnation through devoted Buddhist practice. Winning 150 million yen in the lottery? After committing to his spiritual path, Miki took over Kyoto's Renkyuji temple, which had been abandoned for years. However, restoring it required significant funds. One night, he dreamed of Daikokuten, the Japanese deity of wealth, who appeared on a ship sailing above him. Daikokuten told him to buy bara, a word with multiple meanings in Japanese, including pork ribs, roses, and a type of lottery ticket. Initially, Miki thought the dream suggested he should buy meat, as monks and subsidiary temples are allowed to eat it. When he went to a butcher shop and asked for ribs, the shop owner, upon hearing his dream, speculated that Daikokuten was actually hinting at purchasing bara lottery tickets instead. Miki decided to give it a try, purchasing 10 tickets. The design on the tickets matched the image from his dream, reinforcing his belief that this was the correct interpretation. Time passed, and he soon forgot about the tickets. However, one night, Daikokuten appeared again in his dream, saying, "The fruit of wealth has ripened, go and collect it." The next day, Miki rushed to check his tickets, and discovered that he had won 150 million yen. The news caused a sensation in the local community. When he went to claim his prize, the bank staff provided him with a special booklet titled "From This Day Onward," which is given to winners of over 10 million yen. It contained advice on managing newfound wealth and dealing with psychological stress. Miki, however, remained unfazed. He had never intended to get rich from the lottery. He only bought the tickets because of his dream. As a Buddhist monk, he had already learned to let go of material attachments. Unlike others who might struggle with sudden wealth, he calmly used all his winnings to restore the temple and never bought another lottery ticket again. A 1 in 512 chance of survival. One of the most chilling experiences in Miki's life happened during his university years. While walking past a dog kennel, he found the puppies adorable and took a picture. The kennel owner was initially upset, but warmed up to Miki after realizing they shared the same Kansai dialect. The owner then offered Miki a part-time job, walking dogs twice a week for 15 minutes each time, for a monthly salary of 150,000 yen. It seemed like easy money, but when Miki asked his Buddhist master for permission, he was scolded for focusing on earning money instead of spiritual practice. As punishment, he was ordered to write a 4-page reflection. Unable to take the job, Miki politely declined the owner's offer. However, before leaving, the owner invited him for coffee, presenting him with 8 cans to choose from. Years later, Miki was shocked to see the owner's face on the news. He had been the mastermind behind the infamous Saitama dog lover serial murders, poisoning multiple victims by spiking their drinks. Miki later realized that out of the 8 coffee cans he had been offered, only one was safe. He had been given coffee on 3 separate occasions, meaning his survival odds were 1 in 512. In their final meeting, the owner had even urged him to drink another can, which would have guaranteed his death. Reflecting on this terrifying event, Miki believed he had been protected by divine forces due to his faith. The world will reset. Beyond his personal experiences, Miki is widely known for his apocalyptic predictions. He claims that according to Buddhist scriptures, if the world experiences 3 disasters and 7 calamities within a decade, it signals the countdown to the end. Recently, he stated that these disasters do not need to occur in a specific order. They all happen between 2024 and 2029. The world will undergo a reset.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Share it, because some stories are meant to be discovered together. And stay curious. I'll see you in the next chapter.